Hey, this is Lewis from Breakdance, and today I'm proud to announce the release of Breakdance Beta number 4. Beta number 4 has one main new feature, which is the pop-up builder, and lots of element polish and some bug fixes. Now, Beta 4 won't be fully backwards compatible with the previous beta. When you activate it, you will get this notice to regenerate your CSS cache. You won't have to do this in the final version, but you will have to do it during the beta. So I'm going to go over to regenerate cache and regenerate my cache. And now the notice is gone, and I'll go ahead and show you the pop-ups feature. So you get to pop-ups, you go to Breakdance pop-ups, and let's add a pop-up. I'll just call this my pop-up, and we want this pop-up to appear everywhere, but we could of course only display it for certain posts or pages. We probably don't want it to show up on our WooCommerce checkout page, so we could do page is not and then choose our WooCommerce checkout page there, etc. You have all the conditions you need to show pop-ups anywhere. Pop-ups open on a trigger. So we have a number of triggers. You can do page load. We could load the page and then wait 10 seconds. You could do page scroll once the user has scrolled 50% of the page. You could do if the user is inactive for a certain period of time. You could do mouse moves to exit, like they're going to move their mouse to the top of the screen. You could show the pop-up, or they click anywhere or on a specific element. You could show the pop-up, and you can also choose to only show this pop-up once or not show it if another pop-up's already been shown. Let's go ahead and, for demo purposes, just show this pop-up on page load after 2 seconds and hit add pop-up. And now let's go into Breakdance and build our pop-up. So if you get this warning about resaving your permalinks, that can happen when upgrading from the beta. So just save your changes, click that link, save your changes, and then just go ahead and refresh the builder, and you'll be able to get them with no problems. Okay, here I am inside Breakdance. Let's go ahead and design my pop-up. So in my pop-up, I want to capture an email. So I'm going to add a form builder here, and I'm just going to delete the other fields because I want an email subscribe form here. And I'll add a heading that says subscribe. And if I was building a real website here, I would actually hook this up to probably MailChimp under Actions, so I would choose MailChimp, but I don't want to do that. This is just a demo. I just want this pop-up to pop up. And you have all the options you want for the pop-up, like you can disable the overlay, you can allow scrolling, you can hide the close button, you can control various design options such as the background, the size of the pop-up, everything you possibly want. You have the entrance animation, the exit animation, close button styles, where the close button displays, whether there's a radius on it, whether we want to move that close button just a little bit. You do something like that. But I'm just going to reset this to the default because I like how it looks by default. And let's go ahead and save this pop-up. And now let's go to the front end of the website. And I don't have any pages here. Well, I guess you can see it even without a page because we are on the website after all. Wait 2 seconds. And here is our pop-up. So that's the pop-up feature. You can expect bugs with this because it is, of course, a beta, and this is the first iteration of this feature. So please test this thoroughly and let us know what you find. We are especially interested to know if we're missing any important options for triggers or logic for only showing the pop-up once or once per session, that sort of thing. In the conditions, you'll find some pop-up specific conditions. For example, session count and page view count. Maybe you want to only show the pop-up if the user has, is not, or I should say is less than, one session. Once they've already visited the website and then they came back, you may not want to hit them with the pop-up again. So that's there as well. Anyway, we hope you like pop-ups. Now I want to talk about the other changes in the beta, specifically the backwards compatibility issues you will face. For element polish, we fixed some various section background issues, so if you continue to have problems with the section, please report them. We also added HTML tag choices to many different elements. If you are using an element and it doesn't have the HTML tag choice you want, please let us know. Right now, we are going to move into our element polishing phase. So we're going to be polishing up lots of our elements and our WooCommerce elements as well. So any bugs you find with our elements, any changes you want, any tweaks you want, now is the time to ask us for those, because we're going to be very heavily focused on that in beta 5 and potentially beta 6. You can also review the fixes and polish we made. The main change we made was to how dynamic data works. The reason for this is we want to give developers a public API for registering fields. Documentation for that will come soon, but because we changed a lot of the code here, it's possible we introduce some new bugs. So if you are using dynamic data and we've broken anything for you, let us know. If you find any bugs with dynamic data, please let us know too. As far as backwards compatibility, any element listed here that we've changed the controls for, your pages that use that element, if they rely on that control, the element may not look the same. For example, we've enabled breakpoint support for a number of controls. That means that if you set those controls in a previous beta before breakpoints were supported, when you activate the element inside Breakdance, you won't be able to see the value of the control anymore. So this is a list of the potentially affected elements. The thing to do about that is just reset the value of the control, and you'll be good to go. Nothing will actually be broken. You'll just have to reset the control because we have, moved the control or changed the control. Anyway, that's it for beta 4. A big thank you goes out to everybody who's helped us test. I think this is going to be the, 4th beta in the last 8 days. So we are moving quickly. I think we can get a final production ready version out in about a month. So stay tuned.